My mom hugged me and whispered, "I know why you really hate Father's Day." I froze, because I never told her the truth. Everyone assumes I avoid Father's Day because it makes me emotional, but that's just the version I let people believe. The real reason is a memory I've tried to bury so deep it feels like it happened to someone else. But it didn't. It happened to me. And every June, the world around me turns into one big reminder of what I never had. Stores fill with cards that say "World's Best Dad," dads pushing carts with their kids, restaurants advertising family lunch, and all I feel is a dull ache in my chest. Because I don't know what it feels like to have a dad who shows up. I only know what it feels like to walk on eggshells, trying not to upset someone who never really wanted to be there. I was 8 the last time I tried to celebrate Father's Day. I remember sitting on the floor with dull crayons and printer paper, trying so hard to draw something he'd actually like. I drew a tie because that's what the cards at Walmart had, even though he never wore one. I wrote, "Thank you for everything," even though deep down I didn't know what everything meant when it came to it. Still, I wanted to try. Kids always try. I left the card on the kitchen counter before school. My little heart hoped he'd smile or at least act like it mattered. But that night, when he came home drunk, he barely looked at it. He picked it up like it was trash, tossed it aside, and said, "Why'd you make that? You don't even listen. Don't pretend." He didn't yell, but the disappointment in his voice felt sharper than any scream. Then he walked out. The door closed, and I remember staring at the card, bent at the corner, wondering what I did wrong. I cried quietly because even at 8, I knew he wouldn't care if he heard me. That moment burned into me so deeply that even now, decades later, I can still see that bent corner, still feel that sting. People say you remember your parents through the little moments. I guess that's true. I remember him missing birthday. I remember him saying he'd pick me up from school and never showing. I remember hiding in my room when he slammed doors after fights with my mom. And I remember the day he left for good, carrying only a duffel bag and not even glancing back. Everyone kept telling me it was for the best, that we'd finally have peace. But I felt this strange mix of guilt and relief, like maybe if I'd been kinder, quieter, better, he would have stayed. That's why Father's Day hurt. It's not about him leaving, it's about the version of him I kept hoping for. So when my mom hugged me today, her voice soft and steady, it felt like she could see all the things I thought I hid well. "You always think it was your fault," she whispered. But it wasn't. None of it was. I swallowed hard. "How did you know?" She let out a long breath, the kind people release when they've carried someone else's pain for too long. "Because every year, you look at other families like you're trying to learn something you were never taught. You loved him with your whole heart. He just didn't know what to do with love." The words sank deep. Something inside me loosened, like a tight knot finally giving way. For years, Father's Day felt like a scar I kept pressing on. But for the first time, I realized it could also be a reminder of who actually stayed, of who held everything together when he did. Mom squeezed my hand. "You were always enough," she said quietly. "He just wasn't ready to be the person you needed." I didn't speak. I just let myself breathe, slow and shake. Then she added one last thing, the part that hit the heart. "You didn't lose a father. You survived one." And in that moment, I finally let myself believe she was right.